Donald Trump was answering some questions from reporters on Air Force One, and one of the big concerns after the confirmation of Judge Brett Kavanaugh as a Supreme Court justice has been how women in the country feel about all of this. Now, there were multiple accusations regarding sexual assault lodged against Judge Kavanaugh, and so is Donald Trump at all concerned about women? Well, here's his answer.
You talked about how this is a moment for young men across the country. You said it was a scary moment. But what is your message today to the women across this country who are feeling devastated, feeling like the message that's been sent here is that they're not being
I don't think they are. I think actually that women, if you look at the biggest fans, and I can tell you that the people that spoke to me most, just really in the strongest of terms, were in his favor were women. You have a lot of women that are extremely happy, a tremendous number of women, because they're thinking of their sons, they're thinking of their husbands and their brothers and their uncles and others.
So he believes that women overall are much more concerned about the well-being of men, and that they're not concerned about themselves at all. They're not concerned that if they are ever sexually assaulted by a man in a position of power, that they shouldn't speak out about it because their lives will be ruined, and the person who is the alleged perpetrator will then go on to be in the highest court of the land.
No, but as usual, he can't help but be over the top absurd. Women are tremendously happy about it. Really? Really? You saw a poll where women at large in the country were, quote, tremendously happy about Kavanaugh being confirmed. No actual poll indicates that, not even close. Who's he thinking of? Probably people like Judge Jeanine Pirro. He went on her show. She is a woman, and she will say anything to cozy up to Donald Trump. So she says, oh, you did a great job. He's like, oh, women are tremendously happy about Kavanaugh. Total freaking clown as always, right? So, and then they're the ones that are strongest in their support of Kavanaugh. I mean, what are you going to do with a guy who's a habitual pathological liar? I mean, what are you going to correct the record of? No, this is the same guy who said that he beat Abraham Lincoln in a poll. There was no polls in Abraham Lincoln's time. I mean, what are you going to do with a guy like this? So, of course, he's saying nonsensical things, but I can break it down further. So every guy should be nervous. No, wait a minute. First of all, I think I'm in a decent position to speak here. I wrote some bad things back when I was younger and conservative, and I wanted to be more shocking and politically incorrect, etc. So that was used against me by the right wing. So if actually they do this hatchet job all the time, even though in my case I didn't get caught, I actually changed my point of view decades ago and deleted that stuff decades ago. Because I said, look, that doesn't represent me. But the right wing used it as a hatchet job. So if anyone knows what a hatchet job is, it's me, okay? So no, but I did write those things. If you didn't attempt to rape anyone, unless you're a left winger and the right wing is just gonna make up stuff about you, which they do all the time. I think that's why they assume the Democrats do it too. Because they're like, we're filthy liars and we'll lie for political reasons and destroy people's lives at the drop of a hat. We won't think twice about it. So they do projection onto Democrats, progressives, etc. But is he saying that, oh, now you got to worry about your sons if they try to rape someone, now it's going to come back to them? Well, I think you should be worried about that. Yeah, if you try to rape someone and we find out about it and they're going to have one of the most powerful jobs in the country, yeah, you should. Okay, yeah, I hope we do find out about it, and then you should be worried. In terms of making things up, really, if you're a plumber or you're a dentist, somehow somebody is gonna like something that you didn't do, and they're gonna find people that are gonna testify to it, and they're gonna pass polygraph tests that are gonna have credible testimony that stands up to all the questions thrown at you. All those things are gonna come out of the woodwork to why, right? No, they just want to say, "No, man, remember all the stuff you did? Remember all the stuff you did?" These guys are they're trying to find out about it. When of course we just want to cover it up, right?
Yeah,
and guys, sorry, Anna, one last thing about that. There are degrees, for Christ's sake. We're not talking about what somebody said in high school, okay? We're talking about attempted rape. And we said it on day one. We said, well, man, you're gonna go back to high school, you better have a high bar. And it was a high bar. It wasn't like, hey, he did something stupid while in high school. We all did something stupid in high school, right? And we've said it a billion times, but again, they turn the aggressor into the victim.
Exactly.
And the victim into some sort of, hatchet person.
Yeah, and one of the more frustrating things that came out of this, so I was listening to this podcast called Left, Right, and Center, and the episode from last Friday featured a Washington Post reporter, someone who considers herself a liberal. I forget her name at the moment, sorry. But she kept talking about how this sets a pretty dangerous precedent, especially when people start going back into your high school years or your college years, and they start judging you by your actions regarding drinking and partying, whatever. No, but look, everything has to be in context, right? So yes, I agree, you set a dangerous standard when you start going into someone's high school experience or college experience, you start judging them based on their drinking or their partying. But we did it in the context of an individual who was lying over and over again during this hearing. So he was minimized, he brought that onto himself. He minimized his behavior in both high school and college in the context of this hearing to decipher whether or not he committed attempted rape, right? So why did he lie so many times? I mean, that brings his credibility into question. It's not like that was brought up out of nowhere. That was brought up because of his minimizing of his behavior when he was younger. But nonetheless, like if you look at the statistics, when it comes to rape allegations, the vast majority of those rape allegations are not false. There is a tiny fraction, tiny percentage that end up being false. So if you have not committed any type of crime in the past, if you've never sexually assaulted someone in the past, you have nothing to worry about. But they successfully fearmonger. That's what the Republican Party does with a number of issues, whether it's foreign policy issues or issues like this involving rape or attempted rape. They'll somehow convince people that the real enemy here is the alleged victim.
Yeah, but finally coming back around to his comments about women, which grabbed the most attention out of these particular comments, because he's been talking about poor men who go to Ivy League schools and are appointed to and confirmed as Supreme Court justices. When will they ever get power in this country? I mean, that's a standard shtick, or become president, by the way. That's a standard shtick. But in this case, him going over the top and going, oh no, women loved it. When you confirm a Supreme Court justice that is accused of attempted rape, women love it. They're the strongest advocates for it, and they're tremendously happy about it. Oh, for Christ's sake, just buzz off already. Just stop talking for a second. You're the most annoying person on the planet. On the go? Don't worry, we got you covered. You can still listen to TYT at our new podcast network. Find us on Apple Podcasts, the Google Play Store, or at tyt.com/podcast.